A very good morning to our dignitaries, Honorable Justice Shampa Sarkar, Judge, High Court at Calcutta, Srimati Neelu Sherpa Chakraborty, IPS, Joint Commissioner of Police Organization, Kolkata Police, Ms. Ritapurna Sen Gupta, actor and producer, Ms. Leena Kejriwal, founder and director, Missing Link Trust, Mr. Saji Philip, Director of Operations, International Justice Mission, Kolkata, the team that has worked tirelessly for the interactive digital comic and the launch of this program, and each and every one of you who have tuned in today, Sunday morning. We are very excited to present the launch of this unique interactive digital comic on today, National Girl Child Day. Without any further delays, we will begin our program. I would like to call Ms. Leena Kejriwal, founder and director of Missing Link Trust, to deliver the welcome address. Ms. Leena Kejriwal founded the Missing Project, a campaign against sex trafficking and slavery with the single purpose of creating mass awareness. In 2016, she launched the Missing Game for the Cause, which won the NASCOM Indie Game of the Year and ranked #1 on Google Play Store. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you for the introduction, Zoe. Thanks so much. Good morning, everybody, to all our esteemed guests here on the panel and everybody who's present here today. I'm Leena Kejriwal, founder of the Missing Link Trust. It's an award-winning organization that uses the power of innovation, education, and empowerment for mass engagement to prevent sex trafficking. It's my honor to invite you all here today and to be here with you all today on the 24th of Jan on this National Girl Child Day for the landmark event in our collective fight against sex trafficking. Web of Deceit, a missing and trafficking case file, is a joint venture between Missing Link Trust and International Justice Mission. It's a unique, one-of-its-kind interactive digital comic to sensitize the public on the issue of sex trafficking and its dynamic nature. This comic is a step forward in the Missing's mission to prevent sex trafficking of women and children. We ask, why wait for a girl to get trafficked? Because once a victim, always a victim. South Asia, with India at its hub, is the fastest growing region for sex trafficking today, with 150,000 cases of missing women and children reported in just 5 Indian states in 2018. Reported cases account for 2 or 3% of the total cases. India is home to about 18.3 million victims of modern slavery, of which an overwhelming majority are women and girls. With digitalization becoming an intrinsic part of our lives, trafficking has moved from traditional brothels to online spaces. Traffickers who are faceless browse the internet to find the victims. There is an exponential aftermath under the COVID pandemic. India stands right on top of the list with 19.87 lakh reports in a global compilation of reports of child sexual abuse material. Many porn sites today host illegal clips and videos of unaware adolescents and children. Lack of information among parents, caregivers, teachers on cyber safety and civic sense pose major challenges in prevention of cyber exploitation of children. Parents are unaware of digital hygiene and safety and are unable to guide their children. The internet is vast, and we can never assume a child will have the ability to effectively protect themselves. Imagine leaving your child unattended at the busiest 6-point crossroad in a crowded city. Crowds of people walking, cars, buses zooming by. With the internet, the risks and dangers are more. We are in a very pivotal role to play. We have a very pivotal role to play on how the young population navigates this very public space. Understanding the need for awareness on the issue of cyber safety under COVID-19, parallel to the comic, we have also been working tirelessly on the Missing Awareness and Safety School program. That's the MASP. The program provides systematic awareness of prevention of exploitation and trafficking through a pedagogical approach that combines immersive impact of art and scalability of technology. It will empower its learners with the knowledge of how to identify abuse and exploitation and prevent it for themselves and their peers. The learnings will include a know-how of legal recourse, available government schemes, and laws relating to the issue of abuse and exploitation. The program will build safe spaces across the country within the communities to hold stigma-free dialogues on gender-based inequalities, violence and abuse, act against these inequalities and significantly reduce the numbers of abuse and exploitation. I would like to take this opportunity to encourage and actively call all the educators, parents, and government executives to understand the necessity of inclusion of awareness of abuse and exploitation in school curriculum and of tools such as Web of Deceit in combating trafficking and sexual exploitation. Our collaboration with International Justice Mission Kolkata has enabled us to bring to you this comic, which demonstrates how trafficking has evolved from the physical to the digital, from the rural to the urban, the nature of the crime that enables it to traverse secure walls and into your personal space. The aim of this comic is that it will act as a trust-building mechanism for citizens who are skeptical about reporting cases, a fundamental step towards increasing the reportage of crimes. The comic, furthermore, has the potential to highlight the different perspectives of the different stakeholders in the issue. The interactive digital comic comes with additional resources, best practices, judgments on key issues, and phone numbers for the purpose of spreading awareness and information. Thank you, everybody, and we really looking forward to all of you downloading the comic and giving us your feedback too. Thank you, Zoe.
Thank you so much, Lena, for delivering the welcome address and laying down the objectives of this interactive digital comic, Web of Deceit. And as Lena said, we really do hope, that this interactive digital comic will create mass awareness so that we can all join in this fight against this heinous crime. This morning, it is our great privilege and honor to have amongst us Honorable Justice Shampa Sarkar, Judge, High Court at Calcutta. Honorable Justice Shampa Sarkar graduated with honors in English from Loreto College, Kolkata, and in law from North Bengal University, and stood first with gold medal. Her leadership enrolled as an advocate on 29th of January 1993 and practiced in the High Court at Calcutta. Her leadership was elevated to the bench of the High Court at Calcutta as an additional judge on 12th March 2018. Honorable Justice Shampa Sarkar was appointed as permanent judge, High Court at Calcutta on the 12th of February 2020. We are privileged to have you here, ma'am, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Lena. Good morning, Zoe, for having me over. Good morning, everybody in the team of Missing Link Trust and IJM for having invited me over for the great occasion and a landmark in the career of all persons who really believe in combating human trafficking, for having launched this, for the launch of this digital comic, which provides not only information about human trafficking, but the tools, showing how the right tools could help in combat human trafficking. Normally, what happens is that the area of human trafficking, the result of human trafficking, the rescue of trafficked persons, there is a web of darkness and deceit. Most people are unaware of how to track these crimes, how to go behind them, how to prevent them, and how to make society aware so that before the trafficking actually happens, you can use the right tools, combine technology, especially in the digital era, to combat the crime and also prevent the same. International Justice Mission has been an NGO for a long time, working on mainly human rights, but now they have a special emphasis on human trafficking. They have been successful not only in tracking down trafficked women and children, and also in rehabilitating them. They have worked very closely with the police, giving them their know-how, the data to help combat human trafficking. Missing Link Trust is also an organization which believes in innovative ways of combating, preventing human trafficking. They believe in education and empowerment at all levels, starting from the school level to also educating the parents and other persons in society, because we are all stakeholders in this situation of human trafficking. And Missing Link Trust has done a great job. This digital comic has been categorized into sections. Each of the comic strips or chapters deal with different aspects of human trafficking. And there are questions, there are awareness issues, there are legal advices given, there are judgments on the point of human trafficking, and landmark decisions which show that the society has progressed to an extent through these organizations to have at least realized that the darkness of human trafficking is looming large over our heads and is one of the most heinous crimes which are taking place in our society, which is not brought into the knowledge or in the public domain official. Originally used to be hesitation on the part of the family to come up directly with this kind of information, coming to the police for help because of social pressures and social issues. People were also scared to go to take the help of the law, because people always thought that the legal process was an unending process, expensive process. But now there are laws in place, there are enforcement agencies who are specially trained to handle this kind of crime, especially the digital crime which takes place, because a lot of the evidence which come across on a digital method of human trafficking, which is followed nowadays by the accused, is preservation of digital evidence, the training to preserve such evidence, capacity building to preserve such evidence. So with the comic, people with whoever logs on to the comic and goes through the strips of the comic, as I call it, it is a comic for the superheroes of the superheroes and by the superheroes. The superheroes are the persons who are victims, and the other superheroes are those who have worked relentlessly and endlessly with trafficked people. There is a common belief or a misconception that human trafficking is only for sexual exploitation for women and children, girl child mainly. But actually, human trafficking has a larger issue. Men are also trafficked, young boys are also trafficked for the purposes of sexual exploitations. They are gigolos earning money. There is bonded labor, and also there is another point of organ trafficking, which is also a very big menace in our society today. As Lena has already pointed out, that human trafficking in India, there are more than 18 million trafficked victims in India. And India is one of the countries which reports highest number of human trafficking in the world. Calcutta is one of the forerunner cities in this country where there has been very high report of human trafficking. West Bengal serves as a corridor for international human trafficking from Nepal, from Bangladesh. Now, there are two kinds of trafficking. It can happen interstate trafficking and also international trafficking. Interstate trafficking usually happens from places where the girl boy ratio is balanced, or there are more girls who are trafficked to places where their girl boy ratio is disbalanced and there are less girls and more boys. There is also another aspect. The human trafficking from India takes place to the Middle East, to Europe, where either for bonded labor, to work as domestic workers, and ultimately which leads to a lot of victimization of these persons. The push effect of human trafficking would be issues like poverty, lack of education, domestic abuse at home, and also poverty. But the pull effect is that there are certain people who go out into the world to, with the idea, or they have been shown the carrot that there is a better chance of employment elsewhere. So they migrate to cities and then they become victims of this crime. And I am really honored to be in the presence of an august company with Ms. Neelu Chakrabarty, Joint Commissioner, who has been in the detective department, has led many investigations to combat human trafficking, and successfully been able to put the accused in conviction with her relentless investigative skills. Ms. Rituparna Sengupta, a great artist. I do not recall any movie done by her on human trafficking, but I recall her work where on women's liberalization and the right that woman has a right to choose in Paramita Rakdin. That was a commendable performance by her. And another movie where she has worked with convicts of correctional homes in Muktodhara, which was an amazing performance again. I would use this platform to request her, as she's an artist par excellence and also a producer, to maybe make a Bengali movie on this issue, because visual impact, I feel, is a lot more than the impact a print media would have, and that is the whole idea of having this digital comic. So thank you once again. I wish you all a great success. I love the concept that with the right tools, you can combat human trafficking, and we can all be a catalyst towards prevention of this crime. Thank you very much. I commend you on the day that you have chosen.
Yes.
Over to you now.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Zoe? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Your Ladyship, for your kind words and for encouraging each of us to be a catalyst, to combat this heinous crime of human trafficking. We would now like to launch the comic officially, and I request my lady, Honorable Justice Shampa Sarkar, to kindly launch the comic.
Thank you, Zoe. A proud moment for all of us. I officially declare Web of Deceit launched.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Zoe, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
Sorry. Thank you so much, Your Leadership, for launching the comic. I hope that each and every one of you will download this unique interactive digital comic as soon as our program ends. It's been a 3-year program, and we have thoroughly enjoyed making this comic. Let me just tell you a little bit about the comic. The story is told from the different perspectives of different stakeholders. So we have the perspective of a police official, we have the perspective from a survivor's point of view, we have the story from the community's point of view. So that way, we're all, and also from the prosecution's point of view. So this way, we're all able to understand what our roles are. And because we cannot work in silos when we want to combat human trafficking, we need to work together. And so therefore, this comic has been designed in that particular way. Our next panelists are I think they're struggling with a little bit of internet connectivity this morning. And so I would like to call upon Mr. Saji Philip, Director of Operations, Kolkata, to come and deliver an address. And Mr. Saji Philip joined International Justice Mission in 2013 as the Director of Community Mobilization. Currently, Saji is leading the Kolkata Field Office as the Director of Operations. He is responsible to lead and manage the operational tasks for Kolkata. Over to you, sir.
You're in mute, sir.
You're mute, Saji. You need to start again, please. You're mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Congratulations to all of you for the successful launch of this digital comic. My sincere gratitude to Honorable Justice Shamba Sarkar, who gave the keynote address and also successfully launched. And my congratulations to Ms. Leena Kejriwal, founder of Missing Link Trust. What an auspicious day, especially as we celebrate in India the National Girls Child Day, so that we can actually gift our nation a web series actually to find out the deceit in the web. And what a glorious way to launch this day. I'm so grateful to Ms. Leena for the last 2 to 3 years you are working. And we are really proud to collaborate with you and your team, and our sincere gratitude to all of you who have come here to be present, to give this occasion such a glorious glamour. And I am sure that we will be coming to hear Srimati Neelu Sherpa ma'am, the Joint Commissioner of KP, and also Ms. Ritu Parna Sengupta, a great artist whom we heard a lot of good notes about her philanthropic activities, and we hope that we will be hearing soon. You know, the very words like verb, net, for me, denote the intricate way that traps are laid out for the innocent. And there are thousands of people work overtime to prey on their targets. One of the statistics recently in one of the conference was said by an international agency that more than lakhs of, some lakhs, I don't want to say here, many lakhs of pedophiles are actually preying in the web to target their the innocent people who get into the internet world. Criminals are exploiting the power of modern technology for live porn. Trafficking means buying and selling of children, marketing children through social media platforms, negotiating dealings and transferring money for exploiting the innocent. We hope that this digital comic will aim to raise necessary awareness required to protect the innocent internet users. Let me give you a small feedback without taking much time. IJM started its work in 2006 in Calcutta. And when we started in Calcutta, there was no baseline study available, but we have interviewed many grassroots level NGOs and officials. And we have come to note that there were around 30% of prevalence of minors right in the hotspots areas, especially in the red light areas at that point of time. In 2000, and we started our work in 2006. We brought in our casework model. We assisted the police to investigate. We rescue with the minors with the assistance of police. We fought their legal cases, as Honorable Justice ma'am has already said. And then we also was involved in their rehabilitation. For the 10 years we have done this casework model, and we wanted to study the impact of our casework model In 2016, we have come up with an academic study, and the study was surprisingly was showing that the prevalence of minors in the red light areas, in the public spaces, were actually reduced to less than 1%. We also parallelly conducted a study in the private space where the prevalence of minors were 18%. This is how we realized the need to work for system reformation, bringing all the public justice system to gear up and fight this cause. For the last 3 to 4 years, our team was involved in the capacity building of the law enforcement, judiciary, and social sectors. Our internal data collected from various trainings and cases assisted by IJM indicate positive impact on the PJS. For example, 50% of cases where IJM was involved were initiated by police. That is a big data that comes up from the field, that it shows the police proactiveness in investigating and bringing the case to conviction. Another data shows that 100% improvement in documentation process. Both when you consider the documentation process, it is pre and post-rescue documentation process. When we come to the courts, we have very, very amazing data here, which says that out of 511 bail applications filed by perpetrators in IJM cases, the courts have denied bail in 472 cases. Today, IJM has been able to build its inroads by partnering with judicial agencies such as the state legal aid services to bring compensations and various relief to the survivors. So this year, 2021, we are conducting our evaluation program to measure the impact of our program by a reputed evaluating agency to measure the 14 years of casework and system reformation program. Our team aspires to scale the experience we gained in working in Calcutta district to the other districts of West Bengal in 2021. Very soon, we are aiming to launch IJM project office in Guwahati, Assam. We have already made some big inroads into the Northeast region. On 7th February, we are bringing in almost 250 headmasters with an objective to make school a center of excellence. Through our successful VLCPC and adolescent group, we are planning to promote a community protection model in association with headmasters, especially State Forum of Headmasters and Headmistresses. So we are bringing that community model in collaboration with HM, teachers, and school children, so that each government school and the other schools will provide a community protection model where children can get the necessary support from all kinds of cyber and trafficking threat. Our team has also established Student Justice Cell in city schools as a model to empower students to combat the threat. In 2018, IJM conducted an international conference on sexual exploitation of children in a digital era. Since then, we continue to make inroads into various academic institutions with a focus to build protection from cybercrime. I am glad that finally this day has arrived and we could launch the project. Our sincere thanks to our chief guest, and also our sincere gratitude to Leena Kejriwal, the founder of Missing Link Trust. Her passion definitely had played a long way in what you say, captivating, conceptualizing this web program. And I am greatly, we are proud about your work. And I hope that in the days to come, this digital comic is going to be a great tool for our coming generation. All the best to the team, and I am sure that a great season is looking forward to us, so that we can collaboratively make West Bengal and India a safe space for women and children. All the best.
Yeah, thank you. Sure.
Thank you so much, Saji sir, for sharing about the work that IJM has done to combat human trafficking, and also just for your words of wisdom and encouragement. And we truly do hope that, one day we will see the end of slavery in our lifetime. And without any delays, I'm sure you're all excited to know what this what this comic is about. And so I will request the Missing Link team if we can just show the trailer to the comic. Thank you so much. Wasn't that so exciting? I'm really hoping that you will be really excited to download this comic, and so that you can also understand how human trafficking happens, how this crime has also evolved, and how it's how it's entering into different spaces as well. And I'm sure you would love to know and love to meet the team that has worked so hard behind the scenes. And so I would like to introduce each and every one of us. Some of us were not able to be here, but nonetheless, please note that they have worked really hard behind the scenes. We have had Mari, we've had Preeti, who have helped us during their tenure in IJM and in Missing Link Trust. And we also have Leena Kejriwal. She has worked really hard. We have had Shishir, who we have had Shishir. Sanikal, can I request all of you to come on screen? We also have Saptarshi Biswas from IJM. He has also worked hard behind the scenes. We have had Prajesh. He and his team, they have developed this interactive digital comic. And behind the scenes, we also have Nana. She has been coordinating this launch and this whole comic as well. And we've also had artists like Kokachi, who have helped us with the artwork initially. And then, Prajesh and his team, they took over. So now we would just like to show you some snippets of the app. This is the team that has worked behind the comic and also for this launch. And so we really want to thank each and every one of them for all the hard work that they have put in. It's been a 3 years project. And so it's really great to finally have this product launch, this comic launch. And
I would like to add something. I would like to also thank Zoe. Zoe has been a tireless worker. She's the one who's actually really been with us through thick and thin and make sure that the case studies which we showed, any inflection in the story didn't have anything which was not normal. It was very, very real. And there was no, she made sure that we were totally in sync with the actual realities of the space. Of course, I would like to thank Prajesh for being with us, because this is the first time we were doing interactive digital comic. And we didn't want it to be a comic which was just something which you saw, like something which was a PDF. So I kept throwing ideas at Prajesh, and he was very happy. He was actually kept taking all my ideas and helping me execute it. And that's why we today have this really amazing interactive digital comic, which is, I think, have been told that a lot of people have never seen something like this, Prajesh. So I think we really got something new here. I would also like to thank that when we were coming up with the app icon for the comic, we came up with the idea of opening it out to our amazing volunteers and amazing followers of the Missing Link Trust who totally believe in the power of art to create change. And we got some really strong submissions, of which we have one of them whose icon, who you're seeing today, has been designed by Marjon. He's from Philippines, and so I wanted to acknowledge that also, and he's been given credit on the app too. And of course, everybody else, I mean, you know that behind the team at IGM, Sisharji has always been there, telling us, always making sure that we are in the right path. It's taken long, and under COVID, I think we took an extra year. Zoe, you want to show some snips from the comic?
Sure, sure. Nana, can I please request you to show some snippets? Thank you.
We cannot remove ourselves from this. What was lacking was, of course, the sound, and I would request each one of you to please download the app. It's live now, and really experience it to its full effect. And that was just very small snippets for you all. Zoe, over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Lena. Yeah, as we shared before, it's there on Google Play. For those who have an Apple device and you're wondering whether it will be available on your store, it is soon coming, and we will update each and every one of you. Yeah, we do hope that you have enjoyed. If you have any questions regarding the comic and anything like that, please feel free to ask us in the comments on Facebook, and we will definitely get back to you. Lena, do you have anything you would like to add?
I'd like to just say regrets that our other esteemed panelists actually caught up in emergencies, and we are just waiting for them to also come and share their valuable thoughts on this iconic occasion which we have here today. I would like to add that, like I was talking about the importance of education and awareness and the roles of parents, caregivers. Of course, the legal and the civic societies play a very big role. I've always said that they are the tirelessly working against the prevention of child trafficking. They are the ones who are tirelessly working in keeping our children safe. But there's a very big role which parents and caregivers have to play today. And nobody can say I don't know much about digital, I don't know this space too much, because today your child is on a digital space in the very early stages of their lives. And like that whole imagery which I gave of putting your child onto a 6-point crossing and saying, would you imagine your child being there all alone with all the traffic around them? Just the moment your child is online today, that's the kind of safety he's in. There is no safety in the internet. The internet was not made as a safe space. It was actually just made for connecting. So I would urge and request all parents to play their role in keeping their children safe. And that's why we are totally think that a very systematic awareness about child safety should be part of school programs, and we are building that. We hope that the program will be embraced and that a lot of children do it, because it will have a very systematic learning by the child on the role of how they can keep themselves safe. We can actually, we are still waiting for our other esteemed guests to come in. Can we ask, we have another we have Sisirji from our International Justice Mission, who's really been involved in the program. We can ask Sisirji to say 2 lines about his journey on what he understands the part of communications in awareness and precautions.
Thank you, Leena ji. Good morning to you all. Thank you for joining us today and this momentous occasion to launch the Web of Deceit app. It's not merely an app, it is actually a tool to build a connect between our digital netizens as well as children, women, and other public we are trying to reach for awareness, especially awareness on human trafficking, and primarily to see their participation, their role in building a safe community for all. So that's our effort from the start. When we began the conceptualizing this whole app and the comic strip, our idea and our goal was to make it as immersive as possible, as enjoyable as possible, in a sense that people could be part of bringing a change in their narrative of the story, through that get sensitized and be able to participate in reporting the crime and being able to be aware of certain laws, certain aspects of police procedures through which they could educate themselves and educate others, and to bring in the concept of participation with idea to make a change and to stop human trafficking in itself, to see the end of trafficking. So that was the purpose. We wanted to make sure that the participants can interactively take part in the storytelling bit. And so Leena ma'am and many of us got together, just how to ideate that. It took a while for us to put it all together. And then we got the whole artwork done so that it was in sync with the story and the options that it gave, that we could tell the story in a way that would be educative to just anybody at any age to participate in it. However, at this point of time, Google has put a restriction on age, and we are asking Leena ji and everyone else to see if we can make sure that the age limit, which is right now at 18 plus, we brought down to 15 plus, so that students and children could participate in this tool. And our hope is that through this tool, we will be able to educate children and have them be part of the enforcement of bringing in change, especially of ending violence against women and children. So thank you very much, Leena ji. Thank you, and a really good opportunity from IGM to take part in it. My community team has been a part of community outreach, community awareness, and these are certain ways that we are building that outreach and awareness. And one of the ways that we decided and we thought of doing it was to use the digital tool to bring awareness and education to children all across. So thank you again, and thank you for the opportunity, and congratulations to you all.
Many more tools like this. There are many more case files to be shared, many more scenarios of trafficking which the world should know about. Because we get stories, we get victims telling us all the time that I didn't know this happened. And we hope that no other child gets trafficked because they didn't know it happened. So, do we have the other dignitaries ready to join us?
To join in, and so we're just waiting for them to join in. And as we wait for them, Leena, I think you said a very important point over there about trafficking and how we want people to know. I think even the landscape of trafficking has also changed a lot in the past couple of years. Initially, it was the traditional mode of trafficking where we would see only girls or survivors rather from like the rural sections. But are you seeing that there is a change in this trend, and do you have any comments on that?
Yes, of course, we can see we really wanted to tackle a space which was more digital. And though the case study we have here is not like your your actual cyber trafficking space, it's mainly something which people have used digital means for trafficking. There have been other instances where the groomers actually totally lure the victim online. Children today are online. They feel they think they are being conscious. They think they are being safe. They might not accept friend requests for first, second, third, or fourth time, but the fifth time they even don't realize it that they're being conned into it. Today, the profiles of children are so public that, and they think only their friends are seeing it. But there's a whole big wide world they're watching every move, because there are people who are concentrated only on doing that. There has been a case where a trafficker would actually get about 100 numbers of girls who do recharge of their phones. And they send systematic WhatsApp messages to all of them at the same time, because they have now this whole database of children who've been recharging their phones. And it's about, you might say not respond to a hello once, you might not respond to a hello twice, but after 2 months somebody is constantly sending you a good morning or a hello, and then you feel, so what, let me just say hi for the fun of it, and you might start a conversation. There have been things like that. Traffickers have said that today it's becoming really easy because half the grooming is already being done by society, by what their children are receiving on social media. So there is a very big dialogue out here which has to be had. I would again like parents and caregivers and educationists to really rise up to this really urgent requirement of this changing way of how children are living today. It's not the same as how you had your childhood. So we have our esteemed panelists out here. Rituparna is here. So over to you. Thank you, Rituparna.
Thank you so much, Lena. And everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. We also have the privilege and honor that our next speaker is Ms. Rituparna Sengupta, actor and producer. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming in the middle of your, busy schedule. Let me just introduce you to our audience. Ms. Sengupta is an actor par excellence. She is known for her work in Bengali and Hindi cinema. She is one of the most versatile and successful actresses of Bengali cinema. Some of the notable awards she has won are a National Award, 2 Filmfare Awards, 5 Bengali Film Journalists Award, and 4 Anandalok Awards, amongst the many awards that she has won. Aside from acting, she is very passionate about dancing. She is an eminent Odissi and Manipuri dancer. She is also a writer. She has written many articles for noted magazines and newspapers, which have created a vast interest for the readers. Post and Telegraph Department, Government of India has honored Ms. Sengupta by releasing a postage stamp in her honor. Her production house, Bhavna Ajokal, is her dream company as she has assembled great concepts and thoughts of various kinds. She is also a support to a large number of charitable and social organizations in West Bengal. We are privileged to have you here today, ma'am, and we are looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so much for this kind of mine. I'm really privileged to be known like this, and a warm welcome to all of you. I'm right now I'm in the middle of a shoot, but I feel very strongly about this cause, and this Missing Link organization would be something which I definitely will support, and it will be on my priority list for sure, because I strongly feel about this whole menace, what is happening for these girls. I truly believe if we can strong against it and truly establish the link between the missing girls and the kind of tragedy what happens to them. That link has to be established, and we are the ones who can actually strongly work towards it. So I'm definitely a part of this cause, and of course I will support wholeheartedly, and my full team will be there to support this noble cause. So thank you for inviting me and thinking about me to be of. I believe that when we all join hands, the power will be much more, and we will execute it very efficiently.
Thank you so much. We really look forward to taking up the conversation with you. There is so much to do.
Thank you, Lina. Thank you, everyone. Sorry, I have to cut myself off because I'm already called for my shoot, but then I'm there with you all with support and all my love, affection, and everything what I can pour to this organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ritu. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and especially for your encouraging words. And right now, may I request the Missing Link team to just show some snippets of the comic once again? Thank you.
Please download the comic. It's available as Web of Deceit on the Google Play Store. And please put your reviews there. And it will really help. Oh, we have Neelu ma'am here. Okay.
I'm really sorry to join in late.
No problem, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining. We know you have a very packed schedule and, in the middle of many emergencies. But thank you so much. Despite your busy schedule, you have joined. And I would just like to introduce you to our audience. So we also have the privilege and honor that our next speaker for the day is Srimati Neelu Sherpa Chakraborty, IPS Joint Commissioner of Police Organization, Kolkata Police. She is the fourth lady officer to qualify for West Bengal Police Service in 1993 and was later inducted in the 2005 batch IPS Officer West Bengal. She has served in different capacities, notably so in CID West Bengal, where she headed the Women's Grievance Cell and was instrumental in the rescue of several traffic victims from all over India. She also served as Deputy Commissioner of Police, Detective Department, Kolkata Police, solving high-profile and sensitive murder cases, bank frauds, domestic violence, etc. She also has the credit of solving the first cybercrime case in West Bengal. She is presently posted as Joint Commissioner of Police Organization in Kolkata Police. We are so privileged and honored to have you here today, ma'am, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Okay, thank you so much. Am I the speaker or somebody speaking before me?
Ma'am, you're now the speaker.
Oh, I'm the last one, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I apologize again for not joining earlier, right? I had, I had a confusion with the timings. I thought it was at 4 o'clock. So anyway, I'm here now. I hope you can hear me clearly. Hello?
Yes, you can hear me clearly? We can hear you, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, I have been asked to talk, about a few points has been given to me, so I will give a brief, on those points. First was the gravity of human trafficking in West Bengal. Now, see, not only West Bengal, trafficking is a huge problem. It's a serious problem, not only in West Bengal, but it is all over the country and internationally also. It is the third largest international, trafficking besides narcotics and arms. So naturally, when you say only West Bengal, I think, you'll be doing a bit of a, mistake. So it is everywhere. So that I wanted to, clarify beforehand. But yes, though I am in Calcutta Police, so I can tell you about the form of, trafficking activities being conducted in trafficking that is being done in Calcutta Police itself. In fact, IJM had themselves done, a study on that, and they have found and plus, we have this anti-human trafficking unit in Calcutta Police, and the type of cases that are coming now, it is more basically in private residential places, massage parlors, those sort of thing. It is no more like the old type where girl was brought up, from outside West Bengal or from somewhere in the village areas of West Bengal and sold to a brothel sort of thing. So this study has come to light, and this again poses a difficult problem for the police, because if trafficking or sexual activities are taking place in a residential area, it is very difficult for a police officer to go knocking on each and every flats or residences without any specific information. You need specific time, date, and the specific amount of information before we can actually go to that place or that residential area and trap the persons who are involved in such activities. So that is an issue in Calcutta. Calcutta may be acting as a transit point, because we have Howrah station, we have Sialda railway station, we have the airport. So victims may be trafficked in that way. Now, another concept about trafficking is like people think, like the old Hindi cinemas show, the girls are being trafficked in a very bad way. Yes? You want to say something? Okay. But now, basically, a girl being trafficked, even males are being trafficked now, basically for a good job. Lurement is that I will give you a good job. That is how they go. So when you see a girl or a person's, they are being trafficked, they may not be, a drug state. They may be happily going with the person because they think that they are going to get a better job. So that concept you have to clear from your mind, that, that usually traffic victims are all drugged. They don't understand anything. They're very innocent. It's not like that. So it is very difficult to identify this sort of thing. So that is one point I wanted to flag on that. Okay. Second thing is you wanted the changing trend from traditional method on the mode of trafficking. Yes, it is true that trafficking, the original method of trafficking has changed online. That is very true, because with the advent of internet, everybody has a mobile phone now. Even children, they get education through mobiles or laptops, which we did not have that facility in our time. So because of that, it is very easy to victimize a child who is very innocent. Maybe in an adolescent age, he does not understand whether when his parents are scolding him for studying properly or not to make friends with this person or that person. So in that mental stage, if a trafficker who is really good in trapping children's, they provide a form of compassionate friendship sort of thing. And once that relationship is established between the trafficker and the children, the kids fall into the line. It's very easy it's very easy to get them to do what they want. So it is very important for parents also to restrict or to keep checking what the children is doing online. Plus even your friends themselves, because I always say one thing, I don't know whether I'm true or not, but I feel it is true, because I've been dealing with trafficking since as long as I remember after I joined service. So trafficking is a social issue. It is not like a girl is trafficked and it is the duty of the police. It is not like, a girl is trafficked and it's the duty of this person or that person. It is everybody's responsibility to stop trafficking. It starts from the village. A village, one male or a female, kaka, kakima, ya mashi, whatever, they come from Delhi or Bombay, and then they give good images of how life is in Bombay, that if that child goes there, they can earn money for the family. This sort of thing comes from there. So once a child who is a child, does not have much, he's taken out of his comfort area, from his parents, from his family, from the village, and lands in a city where he has never been or she has never been there. That is how the manipulation starts. He does not have the support system there. So then he falls victim to the traffickers, telling them what to do, what not to do. So this sort of things are there. So that is why I always say trafficking is a social issue. Everybody is responsible for it. In fact, I remember I'm from Darjeeling, so a lot of girls from from Darjeeling do get trafficked for jobs in Delhi or call centers, whatever. So there was this, I think one of the NGOs in Darjeeling had done a study and organized trafficking classes for the drivers. This was a very innovative. I really liked it, for the drivers in Darjeeling. And 1 or 2 drivers did report, that all of a sudden one male is taking 5 or 6, young kids. So that way a lot of children were saved, and that is very appreciative of them, So these sort of things should continue, I think. Next, you wanted me to talk about the role of IJM in combating human traffic. Now, IJM, I remember, I must be the one of the police officer who has the longest history with them. I was in CID. I was DSP CID when IJM had approached me for trafficking, and we have done wonderful job with them. They not only organize seminars for the police people, then the judiciary, to keep us updated on trafficking issues. They also collect information for us and give us information so that we can hold raids and entrap the traffickers. In fact, I think it was the first entrapment case in West Bengal when they had approached me, I think 2004 or 5. And I was I did the investigation myself, because I was so really it was something amazing. So that was the first time a video was used, to entrap the traffickers. And good punishment was given to them finally. So they organize, seminars for everybody. They raise awareness about trafficking, and they're very dedicated. Really, I love you guys. They are so dedicated. It's amazing, really. And we in Calcutta Police have given us tons and tons of organized classes for updating the knowledge of the investigating officers. And that is very good. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank IJM for their, this dedication. It's really amazing. You want me to say anything more?
Ma'am, it's up to you. You can speak a little bit more if you want. Just on the comic or something, if you'd like to share.
Yeah. The comic thing, it is really, I feel it's a very good initiative. It's really a good initiative, because in this age of network, cyber, and internet accessibility for the children, and even like, for instance, I'm also into gaming. I have almost 10-20 games in my mobile, and the kids in the family, they have my mobile, so I have to password lock it, and they are after me, mommy, give me the password sort of thing. So in this age and era where internet is here to stay, whatever you say, reading, I think we the old people only are doing the reading nowadays, reading books and all this. It will go a long way. It's a really good initiative, and I'm sure the children will love it. It is an interactive gaming thing, so naturally I think it's going to reach a lot of kids, and will make an impact.
Thank God. Okay. You really
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because thank you so much, ma'am.
in Calcutta Police, we are also doing one project where, it is about respecting women. So we are making an interactive comic, not comic exactly, it's like a game. It goes from level 1 to level 2. It is for the school children's. Previously, we were thinking of taking it to the children's in the schools themselves. But because of the closure of the school due to COVID, we are making that game. So maybe it will be helpful, for the kids also. And it will, I think it is going to reach a wider audience than just a particular, it is online.
Yes.
So anybody can use it.
Yes.
Anybody can get educated regarding trafficking and all those things.
Yes. That's great. I'm
So much.
happy that it's so well received by even the likes of you, ma'am, because that's really, really heartwarming.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, especially, hearing from a police officer such as you, a very proactive police officer, and where you have also been commended for, your skillful and excellent investigative skills. So it's really good hearing from you, and especially it makes it very real to us about what is the real side and how trafficking is functioning. And also, thank you so much for coming online and sharing that with us. And we really want to thank you, and we know you're busy. We know we had a very busy day yesterday as well, and but thank you despite all of that for coming today. And so with this, I think, we come to the close of our program. We want to thank each and every one of you for joining us on a Sunday morning, National Girl Child, to just, come and just view this and, share our joy as we launch this project. And as we have said, we had a lot of fun making this comic. And so we hope that each and every one of you will be able to download. We request two things of you. One is to download the comic, and two, to share about this comic so that we can all join in this fight together, so that, we can truly see the end of modern day slavery in our lifetime. So let's all take a vow today that until all are free, we will not give up our fight, that we will all join together. Whether we are, police officers, or whether we are lawyers, or whether we're just from the community, that we will do our bit, and we will make the community safe, and we will respect one another. And with that, I think we can close, and time we will just share the trailer with you once more, just so that you can get excited, because we have had a lot of fun. That's it from my end. If anybody would like to share any closing words, the floor is open to you.
I'm good. I'm so happy that it's been accepted in such a warm way by even the likes of Neelu ma'am and her justice, because that's where we really know that what we are doing is really, really called for. Saji, if you want to say any.
Yeah, I would like.
Saji sir, you're muted.
I would like to thank once again Neelu ma'am for coming and spending your valuable time with us. It was such a great encouragement. Thank you, Lena, for all your initiative, and all my colleagues from IJM. I know for the last 2 to 3 years we're interacting with you, and I believe that every perfect time comes like this. If it was 1 year before, probably it would have not got the limelight that we are getting today. And I am sure that we are committed to not only launch, but also make sure that it reaches to the entire student group of this state, and also across the country. So I'm sure that we will continue to update and get the feedback and keep updating, so that it would become a very, very entertained, would be a very interactive app in the days to come. Grateful to all of you for coming, and those who are we are not able to see on the video, those who are hearing us and watching us through the YouTube and other apps, we are grateful for all your support, so that together we will make this country a safe space for women and children. Thank you.
That's amazing. Great. We
Thank
should.
you.
Thank you so much.
I cannot clap because one,
Thumbs up.
Thanks
Thank
a lot,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you. We just
Nana,
showed
can we please have the trailer rolling in? Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yes. We'll have the